Hey, welcome to Enmity Podcasting. This is week 7, and tonight we're going to have a great time talking Bioware props and Operation Lore. All right, tonight with me is our resident hippie Talons. Say hi, Talons.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
All right, and Ignitia, our resident tryhard. What's up, Ignitia? Say hi.
Hi, I try hard.
All right, tonight this is going to be a great night. We're going to be going over Reddit news of the week, what we found interesting, and honestly, what you guys found interesting too, by the way that you upvoted it, stuff like that. That just caught our eyes. And then we're going to be going over, as I said earlier, props to Bioware, stuff that we enjoy. I might argue the point a little bit, knowing me, and light, well, not really light side, dark side operations, but is there any way that we can foretell what the lore might be? So we're going to talk about that. We're going to try to figure out what the lore might be. And this is something that we actually put up on Reddit this week, and we only got one response. So I mean, keep an eye out because we're looking to hear you guys and bring it back to this podcast so that your voice, the player, is heard in the community. We are brought to you by Ultra Sabers, the leader in online dueling awesome lightsabers. Tell us a little bit about it, Talons, without going too far into it.
Oh yeah, Ultra Sabers, freaking amazing products. Uh, since nobody here on this show has this is the Ultra Sabers Initiate version 3 saber staff. Uh, has a vented coupler. It's pretty much buying two sabers and actually putting together and making it look freaking awesome. Uh, this is real standard with a little big great blade and it's just really fun to play with. And secondly, we have the amazing Ultra Edge Scorpion with a claw, nickel-plated aluminum all over the place, cover tech wheel. So if you want to walk around with it with the Obsidian soundboard, and it's just so much fun to play with. I haven't stopped playing with them around at all. And
If
on
I
top of
remember
that, my
correctly,
roommate
your
just ordered
roommate
one.
took one look at him and bought one, right?
Correct. We're getting ready to duel it out tomorrow morning.
So, I mean, I'm telling you, these things are amazing. You take one look and you buy them. So, I guess a disclaimer, if you get one, I'm already looking at getting my next one. So, just keep in mind that these are the best lightsabers on the market, and you don't have to wait 6 months for them. Emery, he'll tell you every time you do not have to wait 6 months for these. These are here in a week. They are the best. All right, so now let's move on to our Reddit news of the week. We're going to be starting off with our shadow that was soloing False Emperor at level 50, mind you. He was a level 50 shadow. And now I bring this question out to you guys after watching it. Have we become too OP, maybe? What do you guys think?
I I I don't know how to really say this. I think uh, I think the extra 5 levels have really helped, but at level 50, I'm actually quite surprised that he was able to solo it so well. Um, it took him a good like 40 minutes to actually do it, but I don't know. I think maybe that flashpoint was not as hard as we made it out to be for a good minute there.
Oh well, let's be honest with it. When we were first in there, I mean, that Flashpoint's 2 years old now, legitimately, 2 years old. Has it been nerfed? Yeah. I mean, before you had to use the grenades, if I remember correctly, on the final boss, right? You couldn't knock them,
That's
or
correct. You
yeah.
had to use the grenades.
Yeah, when it first came out, you had to use the grenades. So is allowed. I mean, that's basically allowed it to be soloable because you can hit the grenade and then you can hit your knockback, and that would stand to knock him over, right? The the Malgus quote unquote death.
He's not dead.
Oh, okay. I think we're in
I
it.
hope anyway. I hope they bring him back.
So yeah, I mean, without getting too much into this, I feel as if maybe that needs to be relooked at. I guess it's not that big of a deal, so I guess it doesn't need to be relooked at. But it's just funny to me that a level 50, and mind you, he did skip a lot. If I remember correctly through watching the video, he did skip a lot of the ads. So it would have been a lot longer than
I,
a 45-minute encounter or overall flashpoint. But the fact that he could take the bosses on, I think says a lot to how easy the flashpoints are now that we've got gear at level 50 even.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I mean, you figure it's 78 gear we're rocking right now, so
Well, no,
I
he
mean,
was level 50.
oh really?
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
catch that
yeah.
part.
he was a level
He, but
50.
he was a
That's
level
funny.
50 rocking 63 gear though, so that's some pretty high end stuff right there.
Yeah,
Uh,
it definitely is. I mean, it's the end game for that time. So, you know, that's cool.
right on.
Good for him. All right, so
That's
going
pretty
into
amazing.
our I'm sorry, what was that?
That was pretty amazing though. The fact that you're able to solo a hard mode flashpoint like that is pretty pretty awesome. So big ups to the shadow somebody. Literally, his name is somebody.
All right. So leading on to our next Reddit piece, 2.4.3 is coming. And what does that mean for us? It means we're getting, supposedly, unless they change things again, we're going to be getting our ranked war zone, or not war zones, our ranked arenas,
Season
correct?
one.
PvP
Yep,
starts.
season one.
Yeah. And that's going to be and that's announced for the 12th. Not only that, something that we've been having problems with, well, not problems with, we definitely muscled our way through that fight last night, was the fourth boss of Fortress, Corruptor Zero, and he's going to be looking at a couple reworks that will make him, that'll fix him, correct? Ignitia, those corrections, if I remember, have a lot to do with the mines that he places on him.
Yes, the main issue that's going on right now is the mine mechanic has uh, 2 to 3 bugs. The first one being is during his massive laser phase, the mines are still going out, which is pretty much making raid members have to sacrifice themselves just to keep the raid going. The second bug would be when he lands after massive laser, is he tends to
Invincible.
sometimes go into that complete immune invincible state to where you can't possibly kill him. Period. And the
Yeah,
last
that was the worst.
Right.
and the last one Uh, and the last bug is I do not know if because Bioware has said conflicting arguments on it, is it's intended yet it's not intended, is the damage scaling of the mine itself around the third, fourth, and fifth stack. It's not supposed to be as high as it is right now, but
You know what I say to that though? Our healers, once we got our little thing down, were more than able to heal through it with people doing the proper mechanics.
Yeah,
Right, Talons? I mean,
they they shouldn't change that. That it's a challenging fight, and even with it being bugged, honestly, it was frustrating, but it was doable up until he became invincible
right.
at the end, and we couldn't kill him. But you know, uh, it's a doable fight, and especially if they fix the bombs going off during last phase and him going invincible. That's really the only necessary fix that I personally uh, feel that there is.
Yeah. So 2.4.3 dewbacks also. I just read dewbacks. I don't know if they're going to be mounts or if they're going to be little pets, but dewbacks. People are
uh,
talking about it. Look at
it look
Reddit.
It looks like a mount. It actually does. SWTOR Junkies has or I'm sorry, Force Junkies has a nice little graphic of what they're supposed to look like, and it's looks pretty much like a mount. It has a saddle and everything on it.
Cool. New mount. Spend millions on it or hard-earned dollars now that you can buy in-game cartel coins. But that is for a different conversation. So let's move on. So we were talking about 2.4.3, and now Ignitia. There was a guy earlier this week, and he wanted to know why Star Wars: The Old Republic is the game for you. Why do you stay in it? Why do you Talons even stay in it? I think this is just a quick conversation that we could have. Why do you play Star Wars: The Old Republic, Ignitia?
Uh, Mainly because I'm a Star Wars nerd and I love lightsabers. Obviously, I got two of them right behind me. Thank you, Ultra Sabers. Uh, at the same time, I see this game being very fun, very challenging. It's got a lore basis which I love to death. The operations are fantastic. And I think also I'm just gonna have to straight up say it that Bioware has been doing an amazing job with this game. I have not seen a company work so hard on their game compared to what Bioware has done in the past 2 years.
Yeah. What about you, Talons? Star Wars: The Old Republic. Why has it been
Well,
the MMO for you?
well, obviously, because it's Star Wars, like Ignitia said. I mean, that I guess that kept me through the. I don't want to say fail launch, but it was rough. Even Bioware will admit that, but um, it was a forced launch that they have come a long way, though. Really sticking through it, and it's the people in the game. Have met a lot of awesome people, a lot of friends, and and the Star Wars lore keeps me in it. And then Bioware just kept coming through, kept making improvements. 2 years later, it's a completely different game. Um, they've really gone above and beyond as far as I'm concerned. I mean, critics can say what they want, and you'll always
And they
find
will.
fault, right? And they will. Especially with MMOs, it's funny how much people want to complain about this and that, and you can always find something wrong with something, but overall they've done an outstanding job, and it just keeps me looking forward to what they're going to come out with next.
Yeah, and like even me, I had a long background with another game that I won't mention, uh, and I was looking for an old school feel, a game that I could get into from the start again and really back it as a player, and that's kind of what kept me going, is the fact that came in from the start and I wasn't willing to give up on the game. And I'm glad I didn't, because what we've gotten now, as Talon said, is a completely different game that is not only enjoyable, but it keeps you engaged in the lore. And I still haven't finished some of the class quests, so I'm still going back. And that's 2 years later, finishing off some of the lore. And I think that's gonna make this game. The more people try it out, the more they are going to want to finish all the quest lines, everything in the game that the game has to offer. And that's why I stick with it, because I feel like to a next we're coming up to the next level of gameplay, and we're going to see what the galactic space is going to bring us.
Oh
So
yeah,
yeah.
it's gonna be awesome.
So we're going to go into our first topic of the night. And this is something that, Ignitia, it's near and dear to your heart. So I'm going to let you go and move us forward tonight, and go ahead and lead us. Oh, fearless leader.
Oh, fearless leader. Thank you.
Hey, that's my job.
I, ish. Not not during raid. But I actually do think BioWare does need to get props like they deserve. Like I was saying earlier, uh, as Talon stated, this is a whole different game now. In the past 2 years, they have done fixes, added new content, added new aspects of the game, and on top of that, they're getting ready to launch Galactic Starfighter. That is going to be completely different PvP experience. I think I think Bioware is probably one of the better companies when it comes to actually trying to run a game. There's always going to be those critics, but at the same time, they've done such an amazing job. They put content after content. They push the boundaries of mechanics and raid configurations. I mean, we have three different modes in raiding compared to other games that have only two. Uh, you have an epic story arc when it comes to the class quests. You have these beautiful planets. I mean, the game looks fantastic. They've been pushing the graphical engines almost the entire time. I mean, it's a wonderful universe. It's a great community, and hasn't really fallen off of what truly is Star Wars. And on top of that, I mean, I'd like to also add is they were also very, very good on how to implement an actual free-to-play model. I think they did an amazing job. They took their time actually getting ready to do this because the fact is, it doesn't really hurt to be a subscriber, but at the same time, it's not really a game where it's like, oh, this is a free game. You're gonna have to pay, but in order to enjoy the content, you have to pay for everything. Not necessarily. It's you pay for the stuff you want, and that's exactly what you're gonna get. If you love doing operations, you can just pay a weekly thing of like $2 to do operations all week. It's a great model, and I think they did a very, very fine job in implementing it. And everything that they have done through all the criticism, all the bugs, all the issues, they have always been very, very good about trying to deal with the problems and giving us more content every time they uh,
Well, like,
do
let's
it.
go ahead and talk about that. I mean, I'd have to agree with you that the community, the people who have stuck with us, are definitely a great community. I mean, obviously, every game has their trolls, but I wouldn't actually say that that's Bioware's fault. I mean, honestly, if it was Bioware, like all the trolls would have stayed and kept playing. So, I mean, I wouldn't give Bioware for that. I would say the player base who decided to stick with it is definitely the people who we should be thanking for that one. So props to the player base who stuck it out with us. I wouldn't so much say that for Bioware, but hey, have they put out new content? Hell yeah, they have. Have they done it often? Hell yeah, they have. Have they given us some end game stuff to do? Yeah. I wish that we had a couple that stayed longer instead of the 2 week thing. I mean, I can agree with you, man, but in order to make it a good end game thing, why not leave it up? Give us like four things that we could decide to do that day, and maybe you didn't need to do that daily every day. So like, say if you pick to do say the bounty hunter thing, you're locked out of the rest of the stuff for the day. I think that would keep the end game going a little bit better, right? So Bioware, I'll give you props too, but I would look into that. There's a very special mind right here. Tap into it.
Yeah,
Tap into it.
but no, it's not that special. Don't listen to him, by the way.
How dare you?
Uh, but I mean, I don't know. I kind of disagree. I think that pulling content in and out, it keeps it new, keeps it interesting, and also doesn't. I mean, I know what you said about locking out certain things to make sure people can't, just keep grinding. Um, for example, the bounty content, and then they get bored with it and stuff. But it is their way of making sure people can't just get in there and do it to death, and then
Yeah.
they're bored with it, and they just keep bringing it back. Oh, guess what? It's back, and you don't know when it's coming back. So it's kind of and it's not a big part of the game. I mean, take the bounty thing. I mean, it's very small, simple part. It's like, all right, it's back. I'll go do that for a while. It's fun. Um, but it's not a huge part of the game.
Yeah, and I think it's like
And
Maisa just said in chat. There is quality questionable content Like, is everything gonna be quality if you do that? He also asks Ignishi to show off his lightsaber one more time. But if you do that every day, or if you're able to do it every day, or if they are releasing this stuff all the time, is it going to have the same quality that we would expect from them? Do you guys think we would lose out quality? I mean, I'm not sure. They seem to be doing a good job. They seem to have a good team that is uh, allowing the content, or making sure the content is good for the players, or if we're getting quality content before it's released to us. I think what I'm saying is maybe don't have everything. Then I can agree with you on that, Talons. Maybe though, at least stop with the off weeks, because we need something to do other than operations and PvP. I mean, that's what gamers expect from a game.
And that's why they're giving it. I mean, the space combat's gonna add a whole nother game.
Oh yeah, yeah, I agree, and
You're
props to them on that. I think everybody is really, really excited for this.
yeah. I mean, it's a whole nother game. It's a whole nother leveling system. Ships to play with and stuff. And again, going back to what Ignition said, I know it's been labeled as PvP, uh, but I wanted to talk about that because it's. I was thinking about it the other day, and it's like, well, it's an operation or a flashpoint that you go into, and you have objectives, but the other team's there to stop you. So I guess it's considered PvP, but I don't know if they'll come out with any other kind of space content. I don't know if it would be as fun if you had just, say a quest to go in and destroy, you know, however many turrets or like they had originally, except for off rails. In this sense, you have a mission to do, but then you have 12 other players there to stop you, which is how it would be if you're an Imperial do an operation against, Federation or okay, edit that out, please. um, I did not say Federation, I swear.
Yes, you did.
Um,
You Trekkie. I swear to God, I gotta
no,
freaking punch you right in the
uh,
mouth.
I'm gonna wear. Yeah, I should wear. Next podcast, I'm just gonna wear my Trekkie outfit.
Please
No,
don't.
I don't really have one. I'm just playing.
He does.
Anyway, but but you would have, if you're
Fisticuffs.
attacking, you would have people trying to defend that position. So it just space combat. It makes sense that it would be. I guess you can call it PvP, but um, it'd be like going into a flashpoint and having people from the other faction actually trying to stop you from completing your objectives.
Yeah.
I also would like to add though that with this expansion, like we were saying in like episode 2 and 3, when we were going over what this expansion possibly will be, this opens up a wide a range of what Star Wars can do. I mean, yeah, it might take a lot more work, but I mean, there might be that possibility where, off-rail combat is going to be part of a raid or I'm sorry, an operation. And or you can actually have an open sandbox area going at it. So I mean, I think it will be good overall. I mean, these are the things that are like very, very good for Bioware. I mean, they have constantly been implementing new stuff every time, and I think they've been doing an awesome job. I mean, Talons, you could probably vouch for.
Oh yeah, no, I mean fantastic. Space combat, I wish they would have done something with a little sooner. Maybe even just taken it off rails and said, all right, here you go. Here's X-wing, old school game that's with newer graphics. But yeah, absolutely, I agree. But the sandbox thing. I mean, that would be amazing. That's what I've always thought. When you open up that map, you just want to go out and explore Outer Rim and stuff, and that'd be awesome. just to be able to openly explore, run into, you know, pirates or whatever, and actually have an open area like that. But I mean, that's a whole nother game. You're talking about like Eve Online meets Star Wars, you know.
Oh yeah, and I think it'd be pretty good. I mean, yeah, and
Well, it'd
I
be
don't know.
awesome. I just don't expect him to do that. I mean, it's just no. I don't know if it's practical.
I don't know. I think it would be maybe a great model to do because at the same time you could probably increase the player base. I mean, there's people that are strictly all about the space combat and space exploration in that sandbox style, which I think it would be, pretty good and add a whole different type of player into the player base. I think it
Well,
would
yeah,
maybe up the population by maybe a couple 100,000, maybe 200,000.
yeah, I agree. I mean, it would be awesome. You have to actually travel to each planet, and in between each, planet, you could run into, whatever, or you can just go to you know, the freaking what was it, the Kessler Run, see how fast you could do it. You could do like races. You could have all kinds of stuff out there. But again, I mean,
Yeah,
you're talking about a whole nother game.
this is true.
And
But
as much faith as I have in Bioware, I just don't know if they can. I mean, it's a lot to ask. It would be amazing, though. I agree.
yeah, and also to go back onto what we were talking about, like when it comes to BioWare implementing new content and stuff like that, the only issue, and this is probably going back somewhat to what the holiday events were, but at the same time, well, one of our listeners was talking about like, well, about that first world event with the Rapghoul Plague. It was epic, and it gave people something to do other than just operations, PvP, and dailies and all that stuff. And I think that would be very, very good implementation. I mean, Bounty Broker Association has been a very good thing. Once a month degree event every three has so far has been pretty awesome. But at the same
Well,
time, where's those other events that we've done before that was just fun and fantastic?
I mean, it's a simple, like, honestly, you just put in pod racing. When you go, you have an event like that, but I would like it to be a permanent thing, obviously. But you should be able to go to Tatooine, and again, you should be
Here,
able to have your
here.
own pod racer, upgrade it, and then have betting on it. I mean, it would bring more community. You could have, even in the fleet, you could have, a little cantina room where you could have like it on the screen where you could place your bets for, the winner and stuff. And yeah, it would be awesome, and it'd be
I don't think
something
they
to
have to
do. You
take
could just
place
hop down
like
to
just when
Tatooine
people
and
are queuing. Like, what if you did an event every hour? You know, every hour there was a new race, and
yeah,
you had your bets in before it started. I think that could make that work.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And you would know, yeah, every hour, or even they would have, they could have sort of announcement for it or something. This race is starting in so many or whatever. But just, I mean, even, and I hope they do come out with it soon. But
But I
even
think
just
there's more to it than
players in
that.
game
Like
have
players
done
in
their
games
own
want to be
pod
famous.
races.
You know,
Right,
they want
exactly.
to be famous. Like come on, you're like I want to be the best at something. So if you're not the best PvE or PvP, or what if you're the best racer? That brings in a whole
Yeah,
different
exactly.
type of player.
You have a score, totally have like a scoreboard, leaderboard, and all that,
Hmm.
where you have like your top racers, and yeah, it would be fantastic. And they did,
And
the players themselves, when BioWare came out with the first, pod racer mount, that's what they did. They just organized their own race
Right.
on Tatooine, and but it's not the same.
It's
You need a
not.
course. You need to be able to shoot each other and booby trap each other and stuff like that. It's got to be a programmed race.
No, I agree, and
yeah.
I think that there's a point that where Darth Santa is going to have to come through.
uh, yeah.
Is Eric
And
Darth Santa? Like
I think
maybe
he
he is.
is.
Is he?
And
Like maybe he's like
uh,
Clark Kent to Superman. I think Eric might be Darth
yeah.
Santa. And if you don't know Darth Santa,
I
go listen
seriously
to episode 6 and you'll find out who Darth Santa is.
Uh, I I would love to just get like maybe 5 to 10 minutes of Eric Munsko's time. I mean, seriously, I think the community deserves just to grill him for about a good 10 minutes.
That sounds kinky. I don't know if he's down for
Oh
that.
yeah.
The entire community. That just because I don't know that just asks for a troll. You know, like that's like troll bait. Tomorrow, Eric Munsko's on Enmity podcasting. That's troll bait.
Yeah.
No,
Nah, I
you you announce that like weeks in advance, and then you gather questions that the community wants to ask him, and then you filter out the troll questions and the good ones, and then you ask him in a controlled environment and let him get raped by the community.
I also want there is one thing I'd also like to do. One of these days is just to ask questions to the customer service. I really, really want to know
How
what
dare
they
you
do and
steal
how
my
things
idea?
operate.
How dare you steal my idea? Okay, you know what? This Blue Falcon, also listen to episode 6 if you want an explanation. All right, it took me a second to get that out because I'm so angry. This Blue Falcon military term, watch episode 6. You'll get it. It's on 42gaming.com. Okay, episode 6 explains what Ignitia is um, in military terms. And I'm gonna say so. I have this idea, and I want to know how people feel about this. I want since we can't get Eric. I was talking about to our team about calling the customer service reps and through Skype while we're on air and interviewing a customer service rep. And so, tell me what you think. It's in the works to become a new the best uh, thing that we can do.
You're gonna
Don't
troll that poor person.
no. You know
There's,
what? They're getting paid.
they're
I'm not
gonna.
even getting paid to do this. They're getting paid. So we'll just maybe
Ask
one day
them
we'll ask
deep
them
questions.
questions. I don't know. We'll figure out a good question. Maybe I just want to know how their day's going. I want to know what the dumbest SWOTOR question they've gotten is. That's why. Because I want to know.
Oh yeah, I want to know that
And
too.
you know what the dumbest SWOTOR questions that they'll have is they'll have it. Well, this guy named Rondo called me one time. Yeah, that's you. And he asked me what the dumbest question was, and then I'll look like an idiot. So
Is your computer on, sir?
right. Do they are they American? Like, is it an American team? I don't even know. I've never had to call.
I th- I
I think
think
it
so.
is.
Oh,
Not
I think
okay.
they're
positive. No.
mainly posted
I
out
know they're
as
stationed
Bioware
out
Austin.
of Texas,
Oh, well,
but I
they're
don't know how much
American then.
support.
They ain't American. All right, cool. And not to troll him. I know. I'm just. It was just a little bit of a joke, anyways. Is that all you wanted to get to on this part, though, Ignitia? Did you get it out of your system? This little props for Bioware that you wanted to do. Is it good? Is it
Yeah, there's so much more to freaking say. I mean, but at the same time, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, Bioware's done an amazing job, and keep up the good work.
okay? Cool. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. Then I think we asked the Reddit community this week, and I think I did it too late in the week. It seems like Reddit is really like a Monday sort of thing to get stuff on and get some good answers on. But uh, really, I asked about the what they kind of wanted to see lore wise, or what they were interested in maybe even lore wise, light side, dark side operations. We did get one response, so we're just not that popular. We'd love to think we were popular. We're not. We're the low guys on the totem pole. But it was from a guy by the name of Painful from our
For
server.
now.
Painful from our server. Was he ever in our guild? I'm trying to think. Maybe I don't know. And anyways, he said, I know it's never going to
No, he
happen.
he he still is in our guild. I don't know.
Oh. Oh,
Sorry, painful.
sorry, painful.
Log on more
That
and raid
was
with him. No, he.
painful.
I think he raised. I think he. There's a post of. I think he was on a couple Tuesdays ago raiding with us for the 16-man story
Okay.
mode fortress.
Well, those words have been eaten like the chocolate cake I ate earlier because I'm big boned. So let's go.
What's that?
How dare you, sir?
But chocolate cake's vegetarian, so you can still eat that. That's okay.
That's right. All right. So he said, though, let's get back on topic. This is a Star Wars. This isn't me being fat. How dare you? All right. He says, I know it's never going to happen, but I'd love to see us facing off against a cross-faction target, meaning different ops per faction. For me, that would be the ultimate in continued lore and story. So, I mean, I can
Yeah.
agree with them. Like they started it off sort of. We had different flashpoints at the beginning, but I feel as if that tapered off and it became more linear overall. I mean, how would you guys feel about starting to get some different operations on separate sides? Do you
Well,
think that would?
I mean, it's a great idea, but again, you're talking about a completely two program instead of writing, code for one new Flashpoint. In Darkseid's just easier. I agree. It'd be nice to not always go up against, something like, the Dreadmasters or, Malgus, because on both sides it was the same. But,
Yeah, I
um,
feel like our side's sort of been getting the shaft lately. Not only do they kill us, but we kill us also.
right. Well, I mean
True.
that follows Star Wars lore. The Sith were their own, worst
But
enemy.
let's bring
As
this
soon as
up
they get
that
powerful enough,
the
they destroy
Republic,
each other with.
yeah, but Corellia has always been a thorn in the Republic side. They've always, I mean, let's get nerdy here, okay? Corellia has always sort of been the, I'll do whatever I want. So why not let's all go in. Like maybe Corellia pisses off the Republic and we see our chance to finally take it over or something like that. And so we go whooshing in, they go whooshing in to help them or to get rid of that guy. Let's start taking out Republic.
Yeah, or even like a Mandalorian uprising or something. It's kind of a neutral enemy of both sides.
But you know what though? It kind of isn't at the moment because I mean a bounty hunter was supposed to be taking over for the Mandalore for a while.
Well, yeah, but
True.
I mean the yeah, I mean yeah, it's true. Mandalorian wars are already long over with, and they're not a really big presence in the galaxy anymore.
True, but at the same time, you can also add like Republic problems or issues. I mean, yeah, the Sith Empire seems to be one of those groups that always has an issue with one of its Dars or lords or something like that, where it's like, oh my God, we gotta stop this guy or else it's gonna destroy the galaxy. Um, but at the same time, if you actually look at a lot of the lore bases, the Republic is just as bad. They have constant infighting. There's always somebody who wants to, take the Republic to a higher lengths and is willing to do anything to do it. Um, and it's more that like I do this in a noble cause instead of, well, I just want to conquer the world. But it puts a lot more of an ethical issue into the front, which I think would be a very very fun deal with if you wanted to add an operation or a flashpoint with a light side dark side option, because that would be one of those cases. Uh, at the same time, I mean, just take a look at the lore. There's constant infighting. I mean, half the time when the Sith Empire almost conquers the Republic, it's because of constant infighting or somebody going rogue. And on top of that, I mean, let's bring in the story of Darth or of Revan. The fact is he went dark side mainly because he was trying to do the noble thing, which uh in the Knights of the Old Republic story, he eventually went dark side and became the big enemy, if you want to say that in the first one. So there's so many things, or I'm sorry, the second one. Uh, there's so many aspects that you can add to where the Republic is uh, a Republic figure is considered the main guy who's causing problems compared to a Sith this time, if you want to.
Yeah, yeah, I agree that they could spin on that too. Like, I mean, Revan's a perfect example.
Well,
Jedi that kind of goes rogue, or some, and they and it strives for power, inevitably to fall to the dark side, most likely. But
and I think
they're
here's the thing.
Republic.
I don't think that it's a bad idea to have light side, dark side in the operations to sort of maybe lead down. I mean, it could almost be to the thing of if you make them equally difficult or give them similar mechanics, then it's not as if you're making it easier by picking a certain way, you know? Um, so what I'm thinking is, like, I don't think it's such a bad idea because if they had one where, say, you're going into the, I don't know, for example, not the Congress, what do they, the Star Wars version and on the Republic, you're going in to save the Senate, right? And you have a chance if you're on the Republic side to finally get rid of that guy. He's kind of been a little thorn in your side for a while, you know? So why not set it up to be like, we may be Republic, but this guy's kind of been a thorn in our side. Let's go and kill him, you know? And so you could go and kill this senator instead of going and saving him, maybe. And I think that kind of adds to the Star Wars lore of basically that at some point, even in the Republic, somebody does something bad for the greater good, right?
Yeah,
It's
And I think it brings a little bit more edge to the game by allowing these light side, dark side things to really let you as a player or you as a guild move on. For us, we have a lot of people who are dark side in our guild. For some reason, we just seem to have a lot of people who are dark side and not as many who do the light side stuff. So,
light side.
yeah, you're light side even though you're a jag off. No, I'm just kidding. You're like, like I don't know, like that's funny actually that you're light side. But the thing is, this could be huge for the game. Now, is it harder? Yeah, but it takes the game to the next level, I think. And I know you probably don't agree, Talons, because you're like, I just want them to give out more stuff. And I agree, put out more content, but let's try doing something different. They've done a really good job
no,
of
I do.
being different up to
Actually,
this point too. So
I mean, I don't entirely disagree, but again, it's a matter of if you're writing code for an operation, writing basically two different pathways, which would be awesome. I I totally agree, and it's something that Bioware is really good at, allowing you to choose, how the story goes, and that's it's a good idea for an operation. Again, it would probably slow down. Um, the next operation that we get, because essentially they're having
yeah.
to make two operations in one. But
So
yeah,
this
no,
is
it's a great
actually here.
idea.
So to respond to that, this is actually Painful responded again on Reddit, and he said the funny thing is, and so this is one person's thought on this. This isn't us putting out anything. This is just his thought process on. He said the funny thing is the site issues with double development of each op. If they, I'm sorry, wow. Let me read through this at first. If they have to do one per faction, that wasn't very well written. I'm sorry, Painful, but I'm gonna call you out. But I guarantee if they did do that, there would be a large group of people that would create cross-faction guilds slash tunes just to do the ops on the other side, different mechanics, bosses, story, etc. Even though it drops the same loot. This would increase replayability somewhat so that all the extra development time wouldn't be wasted. I mean, what do you think
That's a
about
good
that?
statement. I think that's actually
Yeah.
very well said, and especially on the same note that like me personally, I have multiple characters. I have 11 right now, but you know, I predominantly do things on the Empire side, but at the same time, I still have my Republic tunes that I would like to really get in and do the operations.
It's because you're a
And
dirty spy.
And so on the
yeah,
other hand, I don't even have a level 55 or 50 on the other side. I only have done imps because at the moment
Yeah, same.
I'm an endgame person and I don't see any reason. I can do all the endgame that I want to do on this
that's it.
side.
That's
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
I mean, that's why I barely raid on my Republic side. I mean, I mainly PvP with my Republic tunes. There's no reason to really raid because I already do it anyway on the same on the Sith side. And if there was somewhat of different content, if you want to say that, or different story-ish when it comes to the to a raid, it would be fantastic, and I would be more than happy to jump on my my Sentinel and actually knock out that content as much as possible, just because I want to experience what that they have to say.
And like you said, like also I have to agree that I don't find it very fun playing on the Republic side, as one of our viewers has said, because I like the Empire. Now, when I watch the movies, am I all Jedi? Yeah, I'm all Jedi, but when I play a game, I like to have a little bit of edge to it. And that's why I think all of our guys are the ones we're killing, is because you don't kill. Okay, so here's the here's the truth. And the Walking Dead TV show has sort of lived by this truth, whereas the comic book is very edgy. You kill off even if they are popular, right? So so now let's bring it over, and now all of a sudden in the TV show, everybody seems to be living, even though they shouldn't be. They couldn't kill the baby. I don't know friggin' why. It just makes everything so much different. Sorry, different tangent, different rant, different podcast. Anyways, so let's bring that over to now. So we're looking at the pub side has the most uh, edgy people because the Empire side has the most edgy characters. We have the ones that are you just can't let them live because they're just doing bad things, right? Uh, is that why we just keep killing off? Because maybe they're too popular on the other side. I don't know. Like, is it a popularity contest? Is this high school again?
It is. It is high school all over again. It's just in a galaxy far, far away. Uh, yeah, I
No, it's
mean,
not, or I
it.
would not be playing it.
Oh yeah, no, I don't mean like high school again in guilds. I mean, like, is it a popularity contest? Is it, like we can't kill the Republic because they win the war anyways. Come on, we all know how it ends. We need them alive or something. I don't like. What
Yeah,
is it?
kind of like that
Well,
guild we had over
better.
when I was in Bonder Crystal. Freaking, we die in the end. We fail in the end. That was the
Right,
guild name. We
right.
fail in the end.
It's the truth.
Yeah, but we look good doing it. I mean, Sith have better costumes, better look. I mean, it's just better being Sith. Of course, like you said, when you watch movies, you're a Jedi. You want the hero to win, but I mean, it's it. If you get deeper into the lore, it's again, take Revan for example. You can't you can't be a Jedi and love or even care about anything too much, or it's a path to the dark side. So, really, Sith are just Jedi who give a crap.
It's
Yeah,
true.
okay. So that's the truth. Would Revan have been as popular if he had never gone dark side?
No,
No, I
maybe as
don't
the
think so.
Battle of Mandalore, like a badass in that battle. Um, but no,
So I say to the pups, okay, your best hero is only cool because he was our hero first. What's up? Our anti hero. Your best hero was our best anti hero. And you know what that means? He wasn't even cool until he was our anti hero. So we made him. We gave
True,
him edge. We gave
but
him edge. Come on, it's the truth.
but I do want to. I think going back into the operations aspect of it, I think
Right. Let's
because
move to what we should be talking about.
I'm gonna I'm gonna straight up say that Malgus and Revan are not dead, and I think that storyline arc is very, very big still. And as of right now, the way it's starting to look, in my opinion, is those two individuals right now, when it comes to possible story arcs, are going to be completely neutral. They hate the Empire, and they also hate the Republic with every fiber in their being because they just seem to be getting screwed every chance they get. Revan wanted to help the Republic destroy the Empire by, you know, grabbing the Foundry and making all these battle droids, and it just failed. I mean, it's and the same thing with Malgus. Malgus is trying to make an empire that is, not just single-minded, and it's broader. And well, it failed. Mind you, they did it in a kind of like crazed style way, but yeah, I have a feeling those two are going to be upcoming upcoming battles, and I would not be surprised, if they're actually going like this. Hey, I agree with you, and you agree with me, so let's work on this together. So I have a feeling Malgus and Revan might be in cahoots with each other.
No way.
uh,
Malgus is way too independent. The you know ruler of the next phase of this galaxy kind of attitude. There's only room for one.
I have to agree with Talons. I think that the next or the upcoming uh, thing is that I would, okay, maybe not the next upcoming. This is what I'd like to see. I want to see one operation with light side, dark side, where I can choose to take Revan's side or I can choose to take Malgus's side. And even if you don't use that to
Yeah.
kill the other one, maybe it's like their ascension to the next arc. It's
Yeah, that's possible.
I think that that would be fun. That's kind of where I wanted to lead this conversation to, in a way that I think that that would be really cool to do, but it would take some work on their end. And I don't care what Maisa says down in their comment, you can do it because it would just.
So yeah, what
Are
if?
you going to kill them?
I mean, it's
No,
a
I
good.
didn't say kill them. I said
It,
lead them on, lead them to the next story arc. Whose side do you choose? Revan isn't on the
yeah.
light side anymore. To be honest, he's not on the Republic. Malgus isn't in the Empire, so you could take either of those sides.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Well, well, I mean, it would actually be interesting to see uh, them take an operation like that and go continue because they're all fragmented. You know, you had the emerging conflict and then Terror from Beyond and Dread Masters, and it would be it would be cool to have an end game that kind of continued in the same direction for a little while. I mean, I know it might get boring after a while, but again, if you could choose what side, and then who knows, maybe after some time they have a way to decide universally who won that, Revan or Malgus, and then their storyline continued on.
Well, here's another thing
Don't
then.
know how they would do that, but
What if you didn't actually fight Revan leading to the next arc? What if you go into this operation and if you chose to back Revan, you have a group of 8 standing in front of you to kill. And if you're in a 16 man, you have a group of 16 standing in front of you that you have to kill.
They did that in uh, Eternity Vault.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So why wouldn't that? And then so you in this one, I've got Revan chilling behind me, and I'm fighting on Revan's side. And if I chose Malgus, I got Malgus sitting behind me, and so that leads us into uh, a council boss, a really true council boss. Because let's be completely honest, we haven't had a council boss yet.
Uh, I think we've had
You could
more than enough. I think I need to add add some more style console boss where it actually is meaningful to actually have to deal with two to uh, 2 to 4, or actually have it like scale more into a meaningful deal like where one guy puts out a certain thing while the other guy puts out a certain thing, and
Yeah,
in order to take, like, say, debuff, you have to run into the other guy's bad stuff. That
I'm
would
telling
be
you.
amazing. It's But at the same time, as soon as you get them down to a certain level, you have two more come up, and you have to do the same thing, and it's a whole different mechanic altogether. And then, and then as soon as that's done, you have all five. I mean, I think they're kind of doing that a little bit with like the TFB council boss, which was okay, but it was like it just didn't feel as epic. But where I have a real good feeling is that I think I haven't we haven't done it yet, but I believe the hard mode variant of the actual Dread Council itself is kind of like that epic council style boss that we're
Hmm.
looking for.
Well, I think we've got our point across. There's a couple different ways they can do the next lore. We haven't really talked about what the lore might be, but I think we're all in just what we're talking about very hopeful that we're talking the return of Malgus. I mean, it just sounds like that's all we've talked about, right? Malgus and
And
Revan. So come on, let's be honest. Everybody's kind of got that little bit. I mean, there's three of us here. I guarantee there's more than three people out there who are like, bring him back. Come on. Let's
Well,
find out what happened.
he was such a major part of the story, and then just to kill him in a flashpoint is kind of weak.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Okay, so Malgus and Revan, please bring him back. That's our. I'm gonna send this to Eric now, and it's gonna be like, Eric, please bring him back. We
Oh
all
no,
want it.
if you're sending that,
oh yeah,
then the next operation better be full on fleet operation moving into planetary operation. I
I
know
think
we've
that would
talked
be
about this before
awesome.
too, but that would
blow
be
the fleets
amazing.
up.
Like,
They get rid of them.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're surrounding the planet. Even a blockade like in
I think that would be awesome. Let's blow up
Naboo.
our own fleet because I think that we need to get out of this whole thing. And you know what? Both fleets should somehow like accidentally land on the same planet so I can go and try to infiltrate the and you know what? Let's put some fleet bosses up. You know, like the emperor finally shows himself and you can go kill him. Come on. Why not?
Rondo's just gonna run in there with a bunch of isotope fives strapped to his chest and
God,
suicide bomb him.
we have to have uh
Jihad!
you jihadist, you. No, we seriously, when it, in my opinion, when it comes to somewhat of the PvP side, we have to have like Capital World or Capital Ship or Capital Fleet, whatever the hell you want to call it, uh, PvP raids. There
Hell
has to
yeah.
be something like that to where you can just
Yeah.
bum rush and just kill everybody, and I
Well,
think it would be epic. And pretty much crash servers, but at the
yeah.
same time, I think it
Well,
would be fun as hell.
again, as like Rondo said, it's about community is a lot about bragging rights. If there's no, you know, yeah, I'm the best. I mean, it gets annoying in some extent, but if they're really, it gets annoying when that guy is like on the best and he's really not. But when there's people out there that have really something to brag about, and again, if you had some sort of way to prove it, guild capital ships that you could upgrade somehow, and people could fly up to those. Again, if it's open sandbox and you could actually see somebody's capital ship, and there was a way to kind of present how badass your guild was. Again, maybe like you were saying, all out PvP. If you destroyed another guild, you could, you know, you would get an upgrade to your ship or something like that. It didn't have to be an upgrade that gave you upper hand on them the next time you were attacking them, but just something for show.
Yeah. And I think that that's.
Oh yeah.
Let's look at what we've gotten in 2 years. I can legitimately say in 2 years, this is the most content that I have gotten in any MMO. Or that I felt that is content that I enjoyed doing, and I came back to do it every week because I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, like we said, going back to the Bioware basis, dude, these guys have been putting out content after content after content. Even the quality of life content checks has been very, very fast and efficient, and I think they're doing an amazing job. I think they got it departmentalized really, really well. I think they're doing exactly what they need to be doing. And what's kind of sad is like even the big kid on the block. Like I I'm gonna straight up say I still check out like say MMO Champion to see what's going on with World of Warcraft. Yes, we all hate that game right now. Uh, but I just want to see what they're doing, and I see constantly them actually implementing changes into their style of game to actually fit the same thing that SWTOR's been doing. 6 week patches. Uh, oh, we're gonna give expertise in their realm of PvP just to actually mitigate the fact that if you don't have gear, you can still PvP. And it's just like, really? Where did I hear that from? Oh, yes, Star Wars: The Old Republic, and that shows you how good BioWare is doing.
Hmm.
That even the major even the major MMOs are having to copy the model that BioWare is putting out. And in all honesty, I think some of the wild kids need to literally shut their mouths because the thing is, if you want to actually have a decent company that will be willing to do everything it takes to make an epic MMO, this is it so far.
Yeah. All right. So it sounds like we've hit the key points. Anything within Star Wars: The Old Republic this week that stood out to you guys that you just want to throw a quick shout out about? Maybe, hi, mom. No, she wouldn't watch this. She.
Actually, actually, I do. I would like to post up on something that I've been reading on Reddit. It's one is from Sotorista, and the other one was from Tenacious Jawas. Sotorista raised $48 for Extra Life for donations to their local children's hospitals, and on top of that, uh, Tenacious Jawas from the Jungma server also raised $3,200 for Extra Life also, which I
Yeah,
think
that was
is
awesome of
very
him.
awesome indeed.
Yeah. No, I'm
Yeah.
happy that it seems that in this new time of gaming, gamers are deciding to sort of come together and try to help out their community. It takes away from the the sort of stigma that we don't care, we just want to sit in our houses and do nothing. I mean, most gamers out there are ex-military. I mean, I would say a lot of my ex-military friends are gamers. There's a lot of really positive people in gaming, and we get a bad rap sometimes for the trolls that we have. And I'm just proud of the gaming community within Star Wars and in general. I mean, let's be honest, in general, the gaming community in the last 5 6 years has really stepped up and said, we're better than that. This is who we are. We're you know take it or leave it. We're This is who we are. And I like that. So I'm gonna say props to the gamers out there for raising money for children. I mean, that's I have 2 children myself, and that's I would thank them. Thank you.
So then you just got to put them in one of those homes that they're supporting, and then they'll be better off than living with you.
You're so mean.
Hating,
Sorry.
so hating.
uh, I couldn't help it.
All right,
Hey, do you have that much money? I
now
don't
that
think
he
so.
trolled me after I was trying to be sincere, I'm gonna let him talk about Ultra Sabers really quick
Yeah.
before we end the night. Here's the link, and the link is
All
already
right.
also up on the website 42gaming.com. So
Something me and Ignition were just talking about is, and damn you, Ultra Sabers, for doing this, but um, they just announced the Emerald Saber, so I'll just show you my saber if you can see it. So I have it pulled out. I have the pommel pulled out, and if you could see, there's a speaker on the end here, and what it is a soundboard with a USB hookup. I can plug that into my computer, and I can change the sounds that come out of there. Um, little sis scream. You can do whatever you want. They have a bunch of different options. But basically, what the Emerald Saber is going to allow you to do is to not only modify your sound completely, but modify your the color of your saber. So you will be able to go in there with a click of a button and change the color of your saber, change the flash and clash color, even give it a shimmering uh, effect, so it kind of looks like your movie quality. And you can even change the colors on that, so the shimmering of it is, say a silver with a red, or a orange with a red, or something like that. So, I mean, they're leading the way in what it means to create a lightsaber, and they're doing it right. So,
Hmm.
if you want to hold a real lightsaber in your hand, go to ultrasabers.com. We're
Oh,
going
and
to
that's not
click on the
plastic.
link.
That shit is straight up metal. Uh,
Nickel
it's
plated.
yeah, it's
It's
awesome.
beautiful. So yeah, go to our link and get yourself one. Cause, well, get yourself five, because you're not gonna be able to stop at one. Sorry to
Nope.
say.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. This is Enmity Podcasting, and we've reached episode 7. So we haven't been around a long time, but with the way we've been around, we make it count, baby. We make it count. In the works next week, we have the developers of a little known website called Torpars, and they want to come on and talk to us about a couple things, and we want to ask them a couple things too. Anything about glitching, the responses, anything like that. So he's going to be our. We don't plan on having interviews every week, but we've had Pizza the Hut, our mercenary rep, on last week, and he had an amazing outlook on the mercenaries. So go ahead and check that out too if you're interested. And next week, like I said, in the works is two of the developers from Torpars, and they want to talk to us about their website and the future of their uh, in-game parser. So,
Nice.
all right, guys, have a great week raiding. Have a great week PvPing. And remember, if you're out there on Oricon, if it's red, it's dead. Have a good one, guys.
Message. Message.